well. That's what
They are the 1%
it all ties
after
into
all.
one. The weaker we become, the more powerful they become. So it's all one thing.
Yeah, remember, there will never be Mr. Block and Mr. Quell, that's Mr. B&Q, if there wasn't people on the shop floor selling their product. So these people at the top, they're not looking to kill everyone, obviously not, because they're still going to need us as slaves to run their economies and make sure that they're still powerful. And they can never be powerful if there's no people. You can only have power if there's something to have power over. So you can't, there's no way like they could be looking to take us all out, because it will be against their own agendas, mate. Yo, what's going on, people? Big up yourselves all the time and every time. Welcome back to another episode of Real Fake News RFN. Back with myself, Jago. And today in studio I have got...
Yo, you've got Renee, 0161. Hi, hello, peace.
Yeah, you got Conspiracy Productions in the house.
And you already know what time it is, bruv. Man like. Let's go.
Like. Jeez. Yes, team. So, this week, boy, madnesses has happened. So, this video is going to come out on Wednesday. Yeah. So, what you're going to see is from Wednesday. We've obviously hit tier 4 today. Today's Sunday. And people are up in arms, really. What I've seen all over socials and that, people just don't understand what is going on right now. So, guys, man, what's going on right now for all this stuff?
A madness is what's going on right now.
Yeah, there's no other way to put that. It's exactly what you just said.
How is it being allowed to happen?
And they, on a Saturday at 4 o'clock, make this announcement from something that they knew the week before to tell us that we're going on complete lockdown and our businesses are closing. And we can't leave the area, the houses, can't mix households for Christmas, which they already said that we could have 3 households and basically enjoy a 5-day Christmas.
We're basically at the serious cusp now, at the point of just before vaccine. How much can they get away with from humans? So obviously, the more we give in, the more we just roll over and take it, is the more easier it's going to be for them when all that vaccine, all that hits, and for now, this is definitely the most serious that I've seen it, so they're going full steam ahead, it's like that, so,
yeah. I mean, if you want to cripple people so much that there is no resistance to what you want, I mean, doing something to a global celebration like Christmas is probably one of the best ways to attack people. I feel one factor, the reason why it's got this far, is because of people. People who support the government. People who are fighting against everyone else who's saying, look, man, let's have a look at this in a bit more of an objective view rather than what we have been looking at it. Like, these people who are going around conforming with everything, is just allowed the government to see, like, well, people are listening to us, regardless of the people arguing. People are complaining, so let's just carry on restricting them and carry on suffocating them.
Yeah, they get away with it. If they can get away with it, they'll just continue and with more force.
Yeah.
So far, that's what we've seen, an increase. Like we said before, how we were going to see, the jump from the cash to the card and then the chip in the skin. We ain't got there yet, but we've definitely seen a speed increase and a full force with it. So now it's serious.
But don't you think that, so let's just say, for example, we 100% know all of this shit's real with the coronavirus and then now the new strains and everything. Now, wouldn't you just put it down to the fact that the government are actually crap, they don't have a clue what they're doing, and they're the reason why there's so much chaos? Because had they have had a proper control over things and done things properly, we would have seen things in a different light. But they're just messing with everything, like, they've just messed everything up. And they're not dealing with things
You have to remember though, Rennie, you have to remember, they're really
I didn't care if I
they're
spent
not,
$1,000 a day, like money here, money there. Now I have to like actually like think, like, do I really need this?
What's
Do I really need that? And I have to
Who's
actually
that?
budget around. It's hard because it's like
yeah,
I
they're
used to
not the
never have to.
dictators, yeah?
Wait a
You
sec.
guys
Wait a sec.
What's that?
Can you? Is
What's that noise?
Who's that?
What noise?
TV or something?
Can't hear it. It's not my end.
Oh, that might be my end. Is that the TV too loud?
Yeah, yeah. It sounds like.
Is
Oh,
it-
sorry,
yeah.
people. Hold on, one sec.
Can't hear it.
Could you not even hear it?
No.
No, because it was coming from him, so he would obviously have heard it. Yeah, obviously.
Right, give me a second.
All right, let's go again, round 2.
Yeah. So you two were.
So what did you say?
So I was just basically. Oh,
Carry
Wow.
on, carry on.
Yeah.
yeah. So I was just obviously saying that, you know, could it be a case that the government they're just clueless at this time and don't
Oh,
have a
yeah,
clue,
yeah.
and hence the reason why everything's
All right,
so.
so look, what it is, yeah,
Messed up.
we know, everyone knows, you know as well, Rennie, that they're just puppets, yeah? The ones who are pulling the strings in the UK,
Is that
for
better?
example.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Is that better?
Yeah.
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 So
All right.
you know that the ones who in the UK saying these decisions that look unorganized and rushed and changing the decisions last minute and the hastiness, that is coming from people who are not making the decisions. They're just following the orders, and because the orders are changing so frequently, it's looking like the people at the front end are indecisive, like Johnson and whoever else, Hancock. But these people are just taking orders from the top, i.e. America, and the people from America who are giving the orders are the Masons. So we already know the elite who are the ones spitting out what to do and when to do it. Because everything's changing at such a rapid pace, people just getting orders left, right and center. And of course, their stupid self-leadership makes it crap because they're trying to mix in their own decisions with what they're being told to do. So it does look very indecisive.
Yeah,
Are
but then you
you
could also see it like that. It is getting as bad as it's actually getting, and then it could be kind of the government are torn between, you know, giving us a bit more freedom, seeing the frustrations that we've already had, but then, you know, again, let's say they're the middleman and somebody else is on the top controlling them, and like they just don't have a choice but to, you know, lock us down.
No, but they know the plan is to get us in a state of panic, yeah. And no one, and you know, so while you're saying, I appreciate that, you know, there might be a slight inclination of people thinking that the government could be in it for them. But trust me, every government in every country right now knows this is a plan and how to coordinate it, and they're all in on it. The only ones I would say who don't know are the smaller, tiny little islands that are not really wrapped into the Five Eyes. So, you know, these little places like Maldives will have to be bought out, for example. But bigger places that are in cahoots, they know full well that it's not about, oh, we're forced to do this to the people. This is the plan. So please know that.
But I would see it as the UK are trying to save face. And when I say save face, try and make it out like everything's under control when
Of
it's
course,
not.
yeah, but they're going to do that anyway. Every country will do that in order to make the people, try and con the people into thinking that they have it under control. Every country will do that.
But then at the same time, we haven't experienced a pandemic in our lifetime, and we haven't known a government in our lifetime to have to deal with something such like this. So,
Yeah,
I know that to a degree they're going to be prepared for anything that comes, but quite clearly they're not.
No,
and they
but
don't know what to
I
do.
know how you're viewing it now. It's like it's been just placed there, and the government are having to deal with it. The government put it there.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, so it might not be the directly Hancock placed it there. It was China, you know, US that did it in China, but when it trickled over here, eventually from March or February, definitely now, Hancock knows what's going on. So we can't say, I'm never going to sit here and say, by now, a year later, people are seeing businesses crash, seeing chips coming, seeing health passports coming, listening to David Icke prior and other people like it, and still fail to hear any of it, even though it's happening in front of our very eyes. So we should be taking what David Icke and other people say very seriously.
Yeah, he's a bit of a funny guy though. But the thing is for me is that people losing their jobs, for people losing their jobs and things like that, like if, you know, the government are trying to get money out of people by fining them and stuff like that, how do they expect them to do it with not making a living?
Yeah, but I think you've forgotten the whole point. The whole point of this, the main reason of this pandemic was for a financial crash across the whole world in every sector in order to convert people to that chip in the skin.
But how does that benefit us?
Because there's going to be no
not
payment.
us, but them.
Like, how does it benefit them? Is that what you asked?
How does it make it? Well, yeah, you said that there's going to be a financial crisis, so that they can
so if there's a financial crash, we all have to rely on them now. We can't make our own money with our businesses we had before. So what does that mean? We need to rely on them. So when they turn around and say, by the way, you're relying on us, but there's no cash anymore, you have to take this chip, everyone's going to go for it.
And then we just become slaves then.
Yeah, but that's you have to, because they've removed the ability to earn money with your own company by this financial crash.
And not only
So
that, they've broken your mentality down, they've broken down your family.
They've had a whole year to do it to you.
That's
And now you're convinced that
but
it's
I
just
totally
an
understand.
accident.
I totally understand what Renee's saying, man. I mean,
I understand.
I'm sorry, by the way, I'm not convinced that it's an accident. I'm just putting that situation
No,
out
I
there.
understand.
I hear that.
I'm not saying I don't understand. I'm just saying it's a financial crash is definitely on purpose, so we must not lose light of the fact that
Here's something that I'll say. Like, the one thing that makes me kind of like not lean towards exactly what you're saying, Con, but I'm just saying like one thing that makes me think about what you're saying a lot more is that particular interview we did on television where he pretended to cry. Matt Hancock, and he went on like he was crying. He weren't crying. You know what I mean? To me, it's like after watching the video, I do understand what thing he's saying. That there was a video, and I'll send it into the group in a moment. Like Russell Brand was actually speaking in the video, and man said it looked like a sense of relief, not emotion. It weren't a true emotion. It was more like a sense of relief. It was more like he was actually laughing than crying. You know what I mean?
I didn't see it,
so like, obviously. No. I'll like
when I've seen it.
What I'll do, I'll send the little thing that I got into the group, so you can see
send it, and then when I see it, I'll straight to you.
Yeah.
Another thing which really strikes me, obviously us guys know, and a lot of people actually would understand this already, is that this whole pandemic is 100%, we know it's a distraction. And the reason for that is, the main reason for this is, I can tell you the reason right now, guys. The reason for this is that they have made regulations, they've caused restrictions, they've been inflicted in human rights, all based on a virus which exists 100% but has a 97% recovery rate by the immune system, human immune system. Now, there's been so many viruses before, that's had worse effects on the human beings, but their lifespan was either shorter or they were less contagious, and there was never ever this understanding. So when I hear people arguing and saying, oh yeah, but we shouldn't be in tier 3, we should be in tier 2 or tier 4, why are they making it tier? I just think to myself, but you're arguing based on a lie already. Because if you understand that there doesn't need to be any lockdown or any restrictions, if you understand already that 99.7 out of 100 people, every 100 people are going to survive this, then realistically, anything that we're talking about when it comes to lockdowns and restrictions and justifications of doing stuff is irrelevant because it's not necessary. It's just something that's been created for a distraction, which, I mean, more and more we're getting closer to it. I do feel like, because I've never really looked into it, was the Great Reset. And I've been hearing people talk about it, and I've been recommended to watch this thing. And I haven't really clocked it, and in my head it's like, for me, what is the benefit of having a Great Reset? Like, okay, we understand it's gonna put everyone on a basic level, but you gotta understand the majority of the population are in debt anyway. They're paying off mortgages, paying off finance. So you're bringing them to a better place than they were because you're saying, no, it's cool. Now your credit is calm, innit? So everyone's credit is at a level now, and everyone works at the same pace from .0. If that's what they're saying, okay, that makes a little bit of sense. But then, how is the country gonna make money? Because there's no economy now, and there's no way of economy growing right now. In fact, all it is economy building. That's all that's going to be happening over the next couple of years. So, I mean, the Great Reset thing, I just don't understand, like, how it's going to benefit us as much, and benefit how it's even going to benefit them. I mean, what's going to happen with, what does it do for them, this Great Reset? What will it benefit them by? Con.
How will it benefit what?
How will it benefit the people at the top, the elites?
What, when we get what? The vaccine?
The Great Reset. The financial reset.
Because, remember, like, obviously it looks funny now because we haven't had it, but remember, when, like, for example, once they do the crash and there's complete reset, like, everything will be overturned, and the only things that will exist is the savings people have got. But even those, the banks they're changing into this chip, aren't they? So everyone's savings, who has a savings, has to go on a chip. If you want your savings, you need the chip in your skin. If you don't want your savings, it's forfeited, the bank keeps it.
But
because you didn't
Great
take
Reset,
the
is
chip.
it? That's not about the Great Reset, that's just the chip we're talking about.
No, but we're getting there. Wait for it. So obviously after the Great Reset, they can do whatever they want because they've reset the whole thing.
So what is the Great Reset concept? What will happen at that point?
Well, you tell me.
I haven't got, that's what I'm asking, bro. I don't know. Like, what are they saying is going to happen?
What are you saying? You don't know what it is, the Great Reset?
Nah, what they're going to do, they're going to make everyone have zero money in their accounts.
Not zero money, but they're getting rid of money, so they're going to merge everything, innit? So obviously, if you've got no money, it's going to be difficult to get any money. If you've got money, it's going to go on a chip, and that's the cusp of it. And the reset means, the world's done for what it is. Whatever we see now is finished.
Yeah, well, I mean, that don't really make too much sense because obviously you're going to have all the big people still trading, like McDonald's and KFCs and B&Q. They're all going to be trading still. They're still going to be making money. We still deal with money in my shop. I know that much. People come.
Yeah. But maybe this Great Reset caters to different sectors or different sets of people. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, it might not help one set. It might not help one set of people at the top. You know what I mean? Yeah. But another set of people at the top are going to benefit from everything because they're the ones that's going to start making new rules and new orders.
At the end of the day,
maybe I don't know. This is just an opinion.
Don't forget the cabal of world leaders that are running shit. They're not, all these once a year or once every, these little meetings that you see, the Bilderbergs and all that, when they're meeting in Geneva and this and that, hidden places every year.
There's deeper meetings than that, bro. Deeper meetings than the Bilderbergs.
I'm just giving one of the best examples so people know obviously. Like, it's to the point where people must concede that they wouldn't be meeting up every year to discuss world leaders and means that they're planning shit against us because we don't know anything. We're not the ones meeting them. So they're meeting about us. That's how we have to see it.
Yeah, you can say that, or you could say they're meeting to benefit themselves. They might
No,
not
of
be
course
meeting
they are,
directly to
but-
kill us. They might be benefiting. They might be meeting to make more plans to make themselves more richer and powerful.
Well, that's what
They are the
it all
1%
ties
after
into
all.
one. The weaker we become, the more powerful they become. So it's all in one thing. Really.
Yeah, remember, there will never be Mr. Block and Mr. Quell, that's Mr. B&Q, if there wasn't people on the shop floor selling their product. So these people at the top, they're not looking to kill everyone, obviously not, because they're still going to need us as slaves to run their economies and make sure that they're still powerful. And they can never be powerful if there's no people. You can only have power if there's something to have power over. So you can't, there's no way like they could be looking to take us all out, because it will be against their own agendas, mate.
But don't you think we're living in a world now where us as people, we're too defiant, if that's the word? Like we're not just going to take yes or no for an answer and do it. We're just too conflicting. We don't want to do what we're told, and there's
wouldn't that be classed as more rebellious?
Rebellious, yeah.
Rebellious. Yeah, rebellious.
Yeah, I mean, look at the last 10 months, innit? Like, that shows exactly a perfect example of how compliant the world is compared to laws and regulations.
You know, and this stuff, yeah, I'll tell you now, when the UN formed, they didn't form to make things better. They formed to become more powerful. So the UN look down on events and stuff, and like, you know, when that Canadian Prime Minister said that thing in his speech about, you know, the Great Reset, whatever, that's what triggered off all this stuff about, you know, resetting everything. And he said, you know, it's going to be a great opportunity to fix financial issues across the world to do with faced by this pandemic. So they're using the excuse once more of the pandemic as the reason for the Great Reset. But you're going to see, because this Great Reset, if it is a thing and it becomes a thing, it's not good for anyone for us to reset anything.
Obviously.
But it doesn't make sense though, to a degree, because you say it's the Great Reset, they're closing down businesses and all this, but yet they're throwing out all this furlough money to us.
Yeah, but why? Because once the furlough money runs out, we're going to see, you know, democracy bypassed, and we're going to see kind of
bureaucracy, mate.
Everyone be slaves to the fascist state.
New rules, mate. Order out of chaos, Allah.
Telling you.
Yeah, well, I am definitely not down with that team yet, me.
You're not the only one, bro. You're not the only one.
So, now we're in tier 4, guys.
Yep.
What?
Well, you guys are.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. When they got out just in time.
You know what?
I'm sorry, that was not nice.
She got out just in time because she smuggled herself out. Obviously, as Renee said earlier, they said on Saturday we're gonna create a new tier 4, and it's gonna happen tomorrow, and you gotta get along with it. Now, they've done that literally within the 24 hours, yeah? They implemented it. Obviously, we seen through this whole thing, like this whole saga, how it takes so long for them to implement things that actually help us. But they implemented it so fast, and, you know, people are still complaining-ish. Obviously, there's more people up in arms. Does that mean that there's a likelihood that we might see tier 5 coming and tier 6 coming, or lockdown 5 and 6 coming?
There's definitely
possibilities, but I don't think we'll see a tier. I don't think we'll go above tier 5.
No, I just think they're going to stay.
They'll try and keep it manageable, won't it?
Tier 4, yeah, but they're going to bring in the army.
Manageable. They're doing a great job of that right now.
So you reckon they're going to bring in the army?
I think they'll keep it in tier 4 and just bring in the army if it gets out of control.
But this tier 4 just popped out of nowhere, no?
That's what everything looks like, though. But nothing.
Well, you got to remember why they've used it. You got to remember the reason they've used to make tier 4. You know what I mean? Which is the new variant.
Yeah. Which they already knew about.
Exactly, and the thing is, they were talking about traffic light system or tier system back in March. So they knew
Yeah.
they were going to implement this, but they just had to do everything slowly, or they would have been crazy.
Yeah. Okay,
Because
so
they
wait.
had to wait and introduce new strains. And
How long do you reckon this tier 4 is going to go in for London? Do you reckon they're going to hold it for a while?
April next year.
You know, they'll never hold it down that long. People in London won't have that.
No, they're doing it. They're doing it so that they can cause this crash thing I'm talking about.
Well, I'm
The proper crash.
We wait a couple of weeks to what they said it was going to be.
Yeah.
If anything, maybe a month at the most.
No,
For
you
now.
look.
Yeah, a month, then they let us go back to work, and then something else will happen, and then they'll throw us back into.
No, they're going to keep bringing out new strains now.
But
So
you got to remember, how many people commute through tier 3s and tier 4s to work, see family, do whatever they I mean, they've got to be realistic. Well, they haven't been, but you know, tier 4 is this. Like I said, they stepped it up real quick, and it's a harsh tier. Like they are definitely. I feel like they're going to start enforcing it majorly. I don't know how they're going to do it because there isn't going to be enough enforcement to do it. But I definitely.
If they're enforcing tier 4, like they say they're going to enforce tier 4, expect police to knock on your door to check the household.
This is what I believe. This is what I believe as well.
I would never let them.
You know what I mean?
But you know, one thing we've got to look out for is let's see what happens to up north.
Yeah.
Because they're obviously blaming everybody coming. Well, they're saying it's Londoners, but I mean, London is such a multicultural place, and a lot of the people who have left London are not Londoners anyway. They are from up north. But let's see what they do with the northern tiers, and if they feel like, all these people have now brought it up here, tier 4.
Yeah.
Remember, they won't attack London that much because they live here. Those government people.
All they got to do is drive out to their second homes, bro.
I know. Simply.
Yeah.
Wait, did you not know? I think with all the people in government, did they not send them home early or something?
Yeah.
And
Before they actually feed it. Yeah, they did. I swear.
So, as you were saying earlier, this spontaneous out of the blue lockdown thing has happened because of the new COVID strain. So what's this about? What is this gangster bullshit about?
Put it like this. If you was government, what could you do to regain control after you've brought out the first virus? What could you do? You could mutate it in a lab and do it again and again and bring a third strain, a fourth strain every time you want panic.
No, but you know what? This is natural of viruses. Viruses do mutate.
I know, but they
Exactly,
don't be racist. They don't attack black people and Asian more than white. So it's definitely engineered. So
What, you reckon it's engineered? Nah, I don't reckon that.
No, I'm not saying the new ones. I'm saying about that whole blame thing.
Oh, right,
yeah.
Yeah.
But now the new ones are probably engineered because the first one was.
Nah,
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think number one, because the first one was engineered, they already know that it's gonna fall off and mutate into things already. They already know this. They've engineered it. So all they do is they put it out there and let it go and mutate. And number two, it doesn't even matter if it is a mutation or not, because we all know that the coronavirus, the COVID-19, like I said, 97.7% of people recovered. It was only the media and propaganda that told people that this virus is going to be deadly and that we all got to stick by the regulations. So regardless if COVID, the new COVID strain, or COVID-21, or whatever it is, even if it was just a normal influenza, as soon as the news and the media get underneath it, that's it. Doesn't matter. We're living something which is
but you know what? You've also got to remember that this is a new virus that we haven't dealt with before. So regardless of the recovery rate or not, like I said, it can mutate or it can change.
So we have obviously
still need to get it into some kind of control.
But obviously we have dealt with this virus for over 100 years because the coronavirus virus itself has existed for over 100 years. It's just the mutations and the strain.
Listen, you know
so as you know, as a car, has 4 wheels and you put a key in and you turn it on and it drives. That's what a virus is. Now you have different cars. You've got cars that are faster, cars that are slower, cars that can hold more people in, cars that can hold less people in. And these are all the strains of the coronavirus. So
Yeah, but
we
when
all know
you
what the
said-
basis,
when you
we don't
said-
know how the basis works. All it is
But-
what the strain does. And once a strain
But
mutates off it, it gets diluted. So it's never going to be as harsh anyway.
Yeah,
So
but when you
realistically,
said
it doesn't matter.
it's mutated, yeah, it can't have mutated because mutations take years. It can't have naturally selected or naturally mutated. It has to have been took
Very
into a
true.
lab.
That's very true. A mutation does take thousands of years or hundreds of years. So
No, at
genuinely-
least 5 years or more. You can't just mutate something in 8 months. In a
Okay.
puddle. They're gonna
Okay.
say,
How
oh,
about
puddle,
this then?
a little
So the
puddle.
common cold, people catch it every year, but it's a different mutation of the previous year. That only takes a year to mutate.
Yeah, but I still think 8 months is not. I just think it's far easier to take something in the lab and go, let's make this work.
Well, it's
And
very easy to mutate something which is very contagious. If it's not very contagious, then it won't mutate as
Yeah,
fast because
yeah.
there
You
isn't
got
as
to
many hosts to
remember, it
mutate
has been a
through.
year. It has been a
I
year.
know, but,
Yeah.
but if you look up the average
Exactly.
span of how long something takes to mutate, they say hundreds of years.
No, but we're saying the common cold, yeah, that
I know,
mutates
I know.
every year. That
Yeah.
the common virus mutates every year.
Well, they say that the influenza does every year, but I don't know about this corona. I mean, when they're saying there's this variant, that variant, it certainly looks suspicious to me because we only started off with one variant, and it was the variant that was coming from 5G poison. So now we're actually seeing
On
viruses.
5G.
Well, no, but
the-
that was the first one. But now we're actually seeing them making things in labs. So this is not normal now. This has become literally biological warfare. We're in that time.
But you do know that there are some labs where they actually do certain kinds of tests which
Testing,
are like
yeah.
blocked off and
Yeah,
and away.
even
But
in
they-
Wuhan,
it is a thing.
this is why in Wuhan, when the thing has happened, even though 5G was released at those Olympic Games as the first place in the world to have it, they still there's a lab there that's a level 4 lab, which means it's the highest level. It's not suits and hazmats. It's like glass doors and several doors before you reach the unit, and then it's enclosed in a chamber that's vacuum sealed. And so, if something slipped out of there or purposely left that lab, of course it could have infected China the same way as the 5G tower. But so there are labs that are making biological warfare, and they're claiming that it's for informational purposes, research and testing. But me and you both know that it's not hard to take a little bit and make it disappear into the wild environment, and then it's out there.
Yeah, I hear all this, man. I mean, what were you saying,
Not
B.dot, man?
conspiracy. They're in England.
Well-
There's lots of them. Level 4 labs.
Well, the one thing I would say is when I heard about the new variant, instead of just going mad about it, I tried to understand what it was.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So, as you lot have already mentioned, yeah, like like viruses mutate. You know what I mean? Like the old strain kind of dies off. You know what I mean? But by that time, a mutation has happened and a new strain will turn up. You know what I mean? So what I found out about this new variant, which is quite weird, yeah, well, is a lot of people have been worrying about, is it going to do this? Is it going to do that? So I don't know if it's the cell or molecule, I don't know what it actually is, but the name of it is N501Y. It's something that actually like affects the spike protein, you know what I mean, in the coronavirus. So, and that spike protein affects how quickly it spreads. You know what I mean? It's not actually making it more fatal. You know what I mean? It's just making it more infectious.
Yeah.
You see
That
what I'm
sounds
saying?
definitely engineered to me.
Like, and don't get me wrong, I do have the belief that viruses should be naturally occurring. This virus is, to me, is not naturally occurring. Well, the first one weren't. You know what I mean? As we know, things mutate anyway. So this mutation could have come off this first engineered thing, and this could be something genuinely like what they would class as natural, because it's come away from its own. It's come off its own thing, innit?
We're in bad times now. I know that much because I feel less powerful than I did. And you know, power should never leave anybody.
Here's one of the things, yeah?
Yeah.
Here's one of the things. Just class this is a little segue, if you will. You know what I mean? But I was speaking to someone, and someone gave me a little theory of theirs, and it kind of resonates with me, innit? So this new variant's turned up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? All these new tiers and stuff have turned up. But what they believe is this not a new variant. It actually ain't.
Yeah.
They've obviously been giving out this vaccine to a lot of people, but they've only shown us a few. You know what I mean? It's actually been given to 350,000 people at the moment, as you heard in that statement that Boris made. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know if you know what I mean, but a lot of countries that had deals with Pfizer and certain other companies have cancelled that deal now. Yeah, because apparently it's giving out false HIV positives. You know what I mean?
I've heard this.
So
I saw this today.
Huh?
I actually saw that today. I saw an article.
Mate, I saw this bro, I've seen this for the last week.
Yeah,
I've been seeing this for the last week.
You know what?
Australia was the first one.
You know what? Funny enough, when I was editing the previous video, last week's video, you said the same thing about HIV.
Yeah.
And when I was editing, I was thinking oh shit, did he mess up? I don't remember anything about HIV. And then obviously when I saw the article today, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. So he's seen that information from before last week. So it makes sense. It makes sense.
I've seen it from time.
And to be fair, what you're saying to me, it sounds so much more logical that we were even saying that people who are going to take the vaccines are going to be seen now as people who have got certain ailments, yeah? Because obviously their body's going to have to go through certain things, innit? Because it's receiving something brand new.
And you got to remember as well, everybody is different.
Yeah.
Every person is different. Everyone's genetic makeup different. You know what I mean? Everyone's. So how this vaccine would affect someone, you know what I mean, would be different to each person.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So what this person was saying is, maybe it's not the new variant. Maybe they're just having mad adverse effects. You know what I mean? And because it's actually because they've done it to so many people so quickly, and a lot of them without telling us, they've had to spring out a reason, and they know the coronavirus is flavor of the month. So why not pull out a new variant off that?
Yeah.
All I know is the more variants.
You know what I mean? And I swear the very first person, was her name Margaret Sutton?
Yeah.
Weren't she from close to where they found the new weren't she living close to where the new variant was found?
Yeah, the variant,
I swear.
Yeah, but like remember, the more variants that come out, whether by accident or on purpose, at this point of this statement is irrelevant, yeah. But the more that come out, the more control they have. Remember that, because they can implement this, implement that. So that's what we need to remember. That's all. See another variant, get ready for another barrel of another whole load of control.
That's what they brought us to.
That's all they do. So they release the variant, and then you're going to see lockdown, etc., etc.
And the joke thing is, they brought us to a point now where they don't even need to show us evidence. They don't even need to give us justification of why things are having to be done.
Yeah, people know what.
Place it in, and you have to accept it. And it's like I say, it's flipping crazy, but it don't matter about what next thing comes out. Yeah, it doesn't matter. All it matters is that when in 1939 to 1945 they started the war, they had to start bare propaganda in 1937 to make sure that everyone was on side to go to war in 1939. Now they don't need to go and do any of that with the bombs, because they're doing the same thing. They use propaganda through our TVs, through our computers, through our phones, to get us to a point that we like now, where I am fully surprised that there hasn't been an uprising, or there hasn't been anything violent happening.
No, I'll be honest.
You know what? I'll tell you this, what I don't get, is all these people, who are always online saying they're the boss, all these wars against postcodes, yeah, all these ballermans, yeah, who are putting all these drill videos out, where are all these people when people need them, bruv? Like, I haven't seen any of them attack there.
It's because they ain't got a clue. They ain't got a clue.
Yeah, but how do they choose who they go to out of
I'm
all
gonna
of
name no
the
names
people who
because
have
everyone,
gone?
but, you know,
Don't make no sense.
And you know what the worst thing is? Wait, let me finish. The worst thing is from that is that these genuine people go out and protest, and they're the ones that's getting attacked.
Okay,
They
so
won't
what
attack
if
back
100
because they're genuine people
Okay,
going out to make a
100,
stand,
200 people.
not to fight and cause issues.
100,
Like,
200
we need
people say
people
keywords
to go up
such
there,
as that.
like
Are they going
doing
to all
Black
their
Lives Matter,
doors?
and show people, look, don't hurt our people because we're looking after our people, innit? Like, there needs to be something done. I mean, they've even got TSG, the tutorial support gang, basically, that they put on the streets at any of these protests, and what they do is they don't do what normal police do, walk around and, you know, make sure things are right. They pinpoint certain people and then they attack them. One of the police officers will grab them, no reasoning, take them aside, and then there'll be a bag of police officers defending that one police officer.
But 100, 200 people inciting.
And it's like, they don't know why they're going to jail now. And it's like, they've got to a point now where they're physically enforcing and abusing genuine human beings, bro. Not these ballermans, these genuine human beings, bro.
And don't forget the towers, Jay, on top of the protest buildings where protests take place. They quickly put up IME side catches and all that, so everyone who brings a phone, they quickly get the IMEIs and SIM numbers and phone numbers and contact and gallery, all that, and see who is your most frequently contacted person and try and link you to people via
I find that's a bit different, though. That's a little bit
different.
Well. Like, anybody who's setting up Facebook profiles and beating out the face or whatever is easy to find. That's not a problem.
Riots,
Twitter can find people, no problem. So that, to me, that doesn't stand
to come to your house
at all. That's not a hard thing to do or to find people.
You was at a protest at this and this address on this and this day, and also in the London riots because we got your phone.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. 100%.
Yeah.
Is what I'm saying?
No, because you're able to read messages, so the messages will say things like, "Yeah, blood, I'm there in the riots."
It would be keyword. It would just be keywords I'll have. So certain keywords come up.
Or I got a TV. I got a thing. Huh?
So
I get that.
200,000 people turn up at a post.
But Jay's saying that whoever set up a Facebook profile, they've done a face recognition and they found them. Yeah, of course they found them.
I don't think they'll get everyone
They know who they're looking for. They've done the little bits of research and found out maybe areas now.
Yeah, but that's small fry. You got to remember, these people now, they're going to be stretched. What they're going to do, this is exactly what they're going to do, yeah? They're not going to go to everyone's door. People who set up groups, so people who set up groups on Facebook, straight away, that means you're trying to get a group of people to go with your beliefs. So them type of people already, automatically, you'll probably see them, if they're at protests, police will go to them straight away because they'll get facial recognition and they'll get arrested. Yeah. I've seen this already in a couple of the protests. Just random people that I look at, and they got arrested, and they didn't even get arrested like normally. They got physically abused arrested. And then when I saw these people on their Facebook page, I see that, these people are the ones that have started up a group. Okay, that makes sense. So they're going to go for everyone who's inciting, anyone who's encouraging.
Help yourselves, everyone. Thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Press this button here right now. Jeez.
Yo, press this big red button.
Press this button. Here.
Yeah, but here.
Button. Red one.